Hello everyone, welcome back to Jikook Moments. Yesterday, at the very end of September, we witnessed something that cannot simply be called coincidence. Jimin returned, and the world seemed to stop spinning for him. The airport, usually just a place of endless movement, suddenly turned into a stage full of light, all because of one figure, Park Jimin. From his gentle smile, his calm steps, to the aura that made every eye unable to look away, this was not just an ordinary appearance, it was a moment that felt like a small miracle. And of course, for ARMY, this miracle was the answer to a longing that had been buried for far too long. Honestly, there are no words enough to describe how precious Jimin's appearance was this time. He didn't just show up as a celebrity, he appeared as the answer to years of longing. For ARMY, who always wait for his every step, it felt like breathing again after holding their breath for too long. But what made this moment special is that Jimin's charm doesn't just belong to ARMY. Anyone who has ever felt his magnetism, anyone who has ever laid eyes on him even for a second, knows this well. There's something in Jimin that cannot be explained, something that cannot be ignored. The very second he appeared, the whole atmosphere of the airport shifted. The noisy departure announcements, the hurried footsteps of passengers, all seemed to fade. Everyone's eyes automatically turned to him. Jimin, with all his calmness and radiant aura, made the airport feel like his own personal stage. It was as if the world stopped spinning just to welcome his steps. He appeared in a cream-striped shirt paired with slim black pants. A simple combination, yet therein lay its power. The shirt was worn casually, several buttons left undone, as if Jimin was saying, "I don't need to try hard to captivate, because this charm is simply part of who I am." The soft fabric swayed with his steps, almost like it was dancing, adding a light and pure impression. His golden blonde hair reflected the natural light of the airport. Every shimmer made him look like a character straight out of a fairy tale, a prince stepping out from another world. But Jimin isn't a fairy tale. He's real, and that's what makes him even more captivating. Jimin's charm doesn't stop at visuals. There's something in the way he walks, the way he looks, even the calmness of his smile that makes it impossible for anyone to look away. Elegant, radiant, mesmerizing, with a unique magnetism no one else has but him. Many people at the airport froze for a moment, as if words were taken away. And maybe that's the truth. Words are never enough to describe what it feels like to see Jimin passing by so close. What's fascinating is that Jimin doesn't just appear, he brings a place to life. An airport, usually just a transit point, suddenly became a space full of energy, full of an aura that's hard to explain. And only Jimin can do that. But we also know that such a presence never comes without shadows. There are always those who harbor envy, hatred, or simply cannot stand to see someone shine so brightly. They wait for a slip, hoping Jimin would appear with his head down, looking ashamed or guilty. They're ready to capture even the smallest moment to twist into a weapon. Yet once again, Jimin proved he is stronger than all of that. He walked with his head held high, his face uncovered, hiding nothing. Every step radiated genuine confidence, not an act. That's the strength of someone who truly knows himself, who no longer lives to fulfill the expectations of others. He knows who he is, and he stands tall with pride. No hatred can extinguish a light like that. A light born from a sincere heart, from a soul that chooses to shine despite countless hands trying to dim it. For many ARMY, this moment was also a reminder of a long-observed pattern, the invisible connection between Jimin and Jungkook. There seems to be an invisible thread that always ties them together, even when they're not in the same place. Every time Jimin travels, Jungkook often suddenly goes live. As if Jimin's absence leaves a space he feels the need to fill. At first, many thought it was just coincidence. But when the pattern repeats over and over, it's hard not to believe there's more than coincidence at play. This time, the pattern was slightly different. Usually, Jimin leaves first, then Jungkook appears live. But this time, Jungkook went live a day earlier. ARMY didn't miss this detail. They know well, small repeating things often carry meaning. In many of his lives, Jungkook often mentioned Jimin's name. Not forced, not fabricated. He said it while smiling, sometimes watching Jimin's videos, sometimes talking about how happy he felt hearing Jimin sing. There was a sparkle in his eyes every time that name slipped from his lips, like someone who can't hide a love too deep. However, after a journalist once brought up his closeness with Jimin, Jungkook suddenly stopped mentioning his name on live. The change was noticeable, especially for those who pay attention to details. From frequently mentioning him proudly, to not a single word. Many found it odd, but also understood. Their world is full of pressure, and every word can be twisted into something else. Even so, the connection remains. Jungkook may no longer say Jimin's name, but subtle patterns still show. The timing of his lives, his habits, the little things that, when pieced together, tell a story. For those who truly look, the signs are enough. Another thing that made Jimin's appearance even more noticeable was his slimmer figure. Not long ago, he himself admitted that he deliberately lost weight. And the results were clear. His face looked sharper, his body lighter, yet his energy was completely undiminished. He looked healthy, full of vitality. This reflects Jimin's perfectionist side. He knows what he wants from himself, and he works hard to achieve it. His physical change isn't a sign of pressure, it's a sign of determination. He wanted to show the best version of himself, and he succeeded. Interestingly, this contrasts with Jungkook, who has been focusing on building a muscular body alongside Namjoon and Taehyung. While Jungkook chose the path of physical strength, Jimin chose elegance and fluidity. Two different paths, two different goals, yet both equally powerful. Haters often try to twist this, as if different workout goals meant personal distance. But there's nothing wrong in that. Jimin and Jungkook's closeness doesn't need the gym to prove itself. Their connection is seen on stage, in glances, in small movements seeking each other. That speaks far louder than working out together. With Namjoon and Taehyung, Jungkook may find an energetic gym vibe. But with Jimin, it's something else. Warmer, softer, sometimes even playful. There's an emotional layer that words cannot explain. That's what makes their bond special. They don't need grand displays. Their relationship shows itself naturally, even in the smallest details. And perhaps that's exactly where its power lies. A connection not built on performance, but on honesty and mutual fulfillment. For ARMY, witnessing Jimin's return this time was a priceless reminder. That he's always stronger than we think, that his light can never be put out. And noticing the small patterns connecting him to Jungkook, that's a gift in itself. Jimin didn't just come back. He returned in a way that made us all fall in love again. Deeper, stronger, more touching. He's not just an idol. He's a symbol of strength, grace, and love that never fades. And once again, the world trembled because of him. Jimin came back not just to inspire, but also to remind us. True light can never be dimmed, even when many hands try to extinguish it. From the way he walks with confidence to the subtle patterns that always seem to link him with Jungkook, all of it makes us believe even more that there's something deeper than mere coincidence. And now, after witnessing this new chapter together, only one question remains. If his airport appearance alone can shake the world, imagine what will happen when he truly steps onto his next international stage. Thank you for watching Jikook Moments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, because this story is still unfolding and we'll be here to witness it together.